guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And today is another Labo video. I promised in my first one that I would test some of the city's exclusives, I think it is, when they came out. Well, they're officially out. Now, I will say, these were kind of astronomical. I only got 5 because they were $13 a piece for these little testers. Yeah. So I got the ones that sounded the most appealing to me. I had 2 parts to the video. One where I tested on paper and guessed what my rankings would be, and then one where I vlogged through the week about testing them on my skin and then did a final ranking. I'm just going to combine that with this one, so it's just going to be one video. My phone is over there to tell you what these are supposed to smell like. Let's see how I want to do this. I don't remember how I did it last time. Did I read and then test? I'm gonna do it that way I'm gonna do it that way this time. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, so forgive me. Cuir 28. I believe this is Berlin. No, this is Dubai. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. This says, our Dubai exclusive is like a classic motorcycle without the sweat and gasoline, blending leather, wood, and musky notes to give it a very powerful, dark, and memorable personality. Natural vanilla absolute, the spicy tar version of the vanilla we know, mixes with the leather to give Cuir 28 its ambery and addictive finale. Okay, let me get it out and test it. Now, in my last video, I said I wasn't sure about like the wear time of these. I realized it's just that these sprayers are absolute garbage, which is another complaint because if I'm spending $7 or $13 on this, I expect the sprayer to work. But I've almost finished Rose 31 and I really like it. It does last a long time as long as you get the right amount out. Let's see. This smells familiar to me. This is very strong tobacco. My voice is weird this morning. I definitely get the vanilla and the tobacco, obviously. I'm not sure if I get leather. Maybe a little bit. I might smell the leather more on my skin. And to the next, which is Vanille 44, or Vanille 44, however you want to say that. This is Paris. We all know that Paris is the city of love and hence sex. Paris is also the city of Vanille 44. I'm just going to say that. I don't know if it's right. We also know by now that our rose does not only smell of rose, that our sandalwood does not just smell of sandalwood. Well, our Vanille 44 does not just smell of vanilla. We would say that this theme is a subtle, ambery, incensey, woody, sexy note that, once acquainted with your premium cashmere sweater, will release the finest of the vanilla bourbons that you've experienced. Is vanilla disguised. Some will say that it is scandalous to release this theme in Paris only. Others will say it is already too much and will try to ban it in the name of normality. This is so pretentious. Let me do that again. Others will say that it's already too much and will try to ban it in the name of normality, where vanillas smell of vanilla. Okay. That was something. That one sprayed good. I don't know. Smells like vanilla. Kind of. I don't know what else it smells like. It's not bad, it's just kind of confusing. These rankings are going to be interesting. Oopsie. Let's move on to Tabac 28. This is Miami, I know that for sure. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and sometimes it becomes a perfume. It literally put an exclamation point. Smoky, seductive, alluring. Tabac 28 is Miami in a bottle. Deeply aromatic tobacco absolute. Picture Cuban Havana distilled. Combined with opulent oud and a striking cedarwood blend, creating a smooth, smoldering feel. Gaiac wood, I don't know. And rum give the fragrance an intoxicating warmth rounded with green cardamom. The whole thing is alive, vibrant, sensual, decadent. And it brings to Winwood more colorful graffiti, but this one for your nostrils only. I don't know why they write like this. I did forget to mention that these are only available August through September, and the full-size bottles are only available September 1st through September 30th. So if you are interested in any of these, they are limited unless you visit the city that they exist in. Oh, we got a dud. Oh, there we go. Kind of. These sprayers, $13, and I can't even, like, use it. You have to, like, take it off and pop it on, and then it sprays. It is all over my hand. So I guess this might be the one I'm wearing today. Definitely tobacco. I like the smell of tobacco, though. Not like cigarettes or cigars or anything, like tobacco scent. But this smells too much like a cigarette. Ugh. Wait, like Jazz Club by Replica, you get the tobacco without smelling like an ashtray. Now my hand smells like a cigarette. I'm disappointed. I thought I was really going to like that one, honestly. Ugh. Let's do, I don't know how to pronounce this. It looks like Cedrat 37, but I know that is not how you're going to pronounce it. But that's what we're going to say. This one I think is Dubai. Not Dubai. Berlin. Freedom! Exclamation point. A delicate balance of Cedrat, I don't know, and ginger. Fresh, acidic, and with an addictive candied sweetness. Resting on a foundation of sensual Labo-ness, which often means woods, musks, in a generous note of ambergris. I don't know. I cannot pronounce anything to save my life. If it were a city, it would feel like Berlin, embracing a joyous, thick-skinned, and solar freedom. Even when it rains. Do you beg to differ? We hope you do, but smell it first. I just sprayed it directly on my hand. It's like citrusy. Something else. Mostly citrus is what I'm getting. I like that one. Like quite a bit, actually. Okay, so we got one. On my hand, it smells like lemon juice, which I'm not mad about because I like the smell of lemon. Or, yeah, lemon juice? Yeah, I think lemon. It's either lemon or orange. We've arrived at our final one, which is Chicago, I believe. I'm excited to try this one because I love Rose 31 so much. So this is, I'm going to butcher it, Baie Rose 26. The main story behind this fragrance refers to music, jazz music in particular. There is a direct correlation between the sharp pepper and some of the more upbeat sounds of jazz, and the soft back representing the simpler, soothing side of the music. Either way, the uplifting effect of the music seems to carry you away, the same way the music of the spices brings your spirit up. So there's some pink pepper in here. In pure Labo style, our Chicago exclusive scent reinvents pink pepper, or Baie Rose in French. Okay, I guess this is it. No, there is rose. Okay. To knock you off with straight elegance, an endless wake, and a unique signature. Pink pepper is reinforced with clove, winking left and right to some cedar and aldehyde, while waking up the aisle to get married to the eternal rose absolute from Gross. The result sits on musks. It is pure refinement, personality, and memorability. I also want to mention that not only are these things double the price, the full-size bottles are double the price of their regular ones. So a half ounce is $134. I'm not even kidding. And so far, by the paper test, none of these have impressed me enough to even consider it. We'll see if it's different on the skin, but I have a feeling if I wanted to purchase any of them, it was going to be the rose one, but I don't know. These have all been kind of disappointing. This is not as nice as the other rose one. I don't know. As it's drying, I'm getting more rose and I'm liking it more. All right. Now I'm going to rank them how I think they're gonna go. So I'm gonna smell them again on the paper and assign them as such. Let's go like least to best. So in last place is Miami Tabac 28. And number 4 spot is going to be the Chicago or Baie Rose. Third is going to be, I hate to butcher it, Cedrat 37, Berlin. Second place is going to go to Vanille 44. And first place I think is going to go to Dubai. I'm not even going to try to say Cuir 28. I'm not sure. So, on paper, if you saw my first video, you saw I was pretty positive about what was going to be my favorite, and it is very nice. I like it. I haven't been wearing it much in the summer because it is kind of deep. None of these did that. None of these had that reaction where I was like, ooh, yeah. And none of them were like Rose 31 where I've used like the whole sample. And I'll honestly be a little surprised if I think any of these are worth the full price. What I would recommend is if you're interested in trying them, just get the little sample and then buy a couple. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna do what I did last time and start from the bottom and work my way to the favorite. So I have something to look forward to, and I won't avoid trying the one that I don't think I'm gonna like. I need a shower this evening anyway, so I'll be able to scrub it off of my body. But let's apply Miami on camera so I don't have to break out the vlog camera. Okay, I gave it a minute to sit in. I don't like it. Ugh. I don't smell like tobacco. I mean, I do smell like tobacco, but I smell like the kind of tobacco that you don't want to smell like. Oh, I smell like a smoker. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear this all day. This is like that labnum or whatever. That, no, that's not the one I had to wash off. I had to wash off Nor something because it smelled so strongly of medicine. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, you'll find out in the vlog what I end up doing. Cut to the vlog, and then I'll do an outro. I won't look like this because, I gotta get my final rankings. I'll do that in 4 days. Okay, I realized I didn't update yesterday. So, it ended up drying down, not smelling like cigarettes. It smelled exactly like replica Jazz Club, so obviously I would get that. And we're on to today's, and it's supposed to be like rose and pink pepper, but it kind of just like stinks. I don't even know what it stinks like, but but it isn't good and it doesn't really smell like roses. So, yeah, we'll see if it changes with time. I literally just sprayed it. I will check in later. I forgot to update again last night. So I figured out what it smelled like when I sprayed the rose one. It smelled like rotting roses. After about an hour, it settled into smelling exactly like Rose 31. So I would recommend just checking that one out and totally skipping this. Today, I think, is the Berlin scent. So let's see what that's about. So far, I'm getting the same thing as the paper, where it's very lemony. It's very fresh and clean. I'm just kind of worried it's going to turn into like a cleaner or dish soap kind of scent. So far, I really like it, so I will check in. Am I ever going to update at night? No. I don't want to add like a ton of spoilers for yesterday, but it was very nice. The best one so far. I will get more in detail at the end of that. Today's is Paris, which is a vanilla one. I'm forgetting the name. I remember the cities, I don't remember the name. So let's try that one. This one I'm a little worried because on paper it smelled like it could go powdery, so we might have that issue. First smell, it smells like vanilla and baby powder. Not necessarily bad, but I'm not really a huge fan. We'll see how it wears. Also, I just woke up, so my throat is like not cooperating. Let's do one more sniff. Yeah, this just smells like baby powder, but not as like old lady. It just smells like actual baby powder. And update, that one turned so powdery and gross I had to wash it off. There was no way I was gonna deal with that all day, so yeah, gross. So I decided to try Dubai on the other arm. Might as well knock this out of the park. And this is my last one, the one I assumed was going to be my favorite. It's interesting. You can tell by my face it's not, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So, you could definitely tell it's going for leather, but it's like a leather of a smoker and not in a good way. We'll see if it settles down into something nicer, but like... So we're here to do my final ranking, and this was a doozy. I don't actually know how to rank these things because they were all garbage except for one. So I'm going to start with the one that was the absolute worst in my opinion, which was this. I'm just going to list the cities and I'll put on the screen the name. This was Paris. So for me, this was barely vanilla. It just went on like straight baby powder. And some people like the powdery smell and some people smell good in it. I'm not one of those. So I'm going to rank this the lowest because it didn't improve with time. Now, this is where it gets difficult because I'm going to go with like my best friend suggested I rank them as the ones that didn't improve with time. So I'm going to try to do that. And the next one is going to be Dubai. This went on as like very masculine, which I'm not opposed to wearing, but it wasn't like good. It was kind of a smoky leather and it just kind of dried down into like not a flattering leather, and kind of had like hint of ashtray, much like you saw the Miami brain fart. So that's gonna be next, and you're probably thinking like, how is this Miami one ranking any higher? And the next one, I'm gonna have to tie these because both Miami and Chicago started out horrific and dried down into exact duplicates, more or less, of things that already exist from Labo. So let's start with Miami Tabac 28. This smelled like an actual ashtray. It was disgusting. I love the scent of tobacco. For the first 30 minutes, this was almost unbearable. But then it dried down to smelling. Why did I say this was a Labo scent? It isn't. Correction. This smells, once it dries down, exactly like Jazz Club from Replica. So save yourself a shit ton of money and get that, because that just smells good straight out of the bottle. It doesn't start as an ashtray. It just smells beautiful. And for a full ounce, it's $77. For a full ounce of this, it is $360. So, yeah. And then we're going to go with Chicago, which is the rose. This started out for the first half hour smelling like rotting roses. You know, if you've ever gotten flowers and accidentally left them in the vase too long and they start to stink, that's what this smells like. Once it dries down, it smells exactly like Rose 31. So save yourself some money, as Rose 31 is significantly cheaper and it doesn't smell bad out of the bottle. It's literally half the price of this. Now, this is where it gets a little wild. We have Berlin, and this is probably my favorite Le Labo scent that I have tried, period. It's better than Santal 33. It's better than Rose 31. Like, this is phenomenal. And I will be purchasing this. I don't know that I have the stomach this year to purchase a full ounce. I'm going to purchase the half ounce and see how quick I use it. If I use it too quickly, I will be a clown and buy the one. I think it's 1.7 ounces technically. I will buy the larger bottle. But this is beautiful. I have never gotten more compliments than I have with this fragrance. The only one that can compete with compliments from other people is Jo Malone Orange Bitters. This just smells, it's fruity, it's sexy. I specifically said it smelled like sexy Fruit Loops. Like, it wears beautifully. It's fresh, it's clean, it's a little bit warm. Like, this is incredibly unique. I even tried to find dupes online and they just don't exist. Like, this is it. Le Labo as a whole, to me, is a gimmick. You're definitely paying for an aesthetic. You're paying for bragging rights of like how much you could spend on a fragrance, in my opinion. I think you can find other fragrances, for the most part, that are cheaper and better. However, when Le Labo does it right, I'm talking Rose 31, I'm talking Santal 33, and I'm talking Berlin. I can't pronounce this one and I don't want to butcher it. It is unique. When they can do it right, they do it so good. For me, there are a couple that are just actually worth it. For the most part, no. I will say, I still think it's a little bit of like fuckery that they're going to charge double for the city's exclusive. And I understand it's like the FOMO and like it's limited edition, so we could charge you more, but it's kind of crap. The samples are also double, which I think I mentioned in the first part of this video. And yeah, I feel like I kind of pissed away money with all of these because they're, not only are they not impressive, they're just bad. But if I can recommend anything, I didn't try any of the other ones, not just because of the price, but none of them interested me. A lot of them said things like patchouli, and I'm not a fan of that. Like, if you're interested in any of them, like Berlin, or again, I'll put on the screen like what the actual name is. Like, this is fantastic. If you are interested in any of these, the samples are available now through the end of September. The actual size, like full sizes of these, are only available from September 1st to September 30th, and you cannot get them again until next year unless you travel to the city that they're based on. So if you are interested, I recommend finding a Le Labo store to go in and try them, ordering a sample. So if you would like to buy full size before next year, you have that ability. But I would like to reiterate, the only one, in my opinion, that's worth it is Berlin. Now, I want to repeat that if you want something that has a tobacco scent that actually smells beautiful, Replica Jazz Club. Fantastic. Beautiful. Love it. If you want a rose scent that is actually fantastic, Rose 31 by Labo. And then Dubai, I feel like if you want a good leather scent, I like Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. Astronomical. I think it's even more expensive than this. But when this dried down, it kind of smelled like a mixture of like Jazz Club by Replica and Santal 33. So to wrap it up, I don't think I'll be trying any more Le Labo in the future, except if I can get my hands on the matcha one. I'm very interested in that. But I think this wraps up my Le Labo series for testing, and my thoughts on the company in general is you're definitely paying for the name, which I don't really understand because they sold the company to Estee Lauder years ago, so it's not like it is an indie company anymore. You're definitely paying for the aesthetic of the store, you're paying for the aesthetic of the bottles, you're paying for like the labels, and it's all very gimmicky, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I think it's unique. And some people are just into it. Yeah, for me, there are a couple scents that I think are worth it because they're very unique and I like them a lot. Like, I'm an absolute psychopath for paying what I'm going to pay for a half an ounce of this, but like, that's how good it is. I'm not over here rolling in money by any means. I save up to purchase 1 or 2 fragrances every fall as part of like my Christmas gift to myself, and that's what this little guy is going to be. But yeah, I think if you don't want to buy Le Labo, there's definitely alternatives. I do want to purchase a few Dossier dupes to see how they live up. And there will be a video on that before I even purchase Santal or Rose 31 or anything like that. I will be buying the dupes to let you know if I think those are worth it because they're so much cheaper. But unless you absolutely can't find a dupe or that's just how you want to spend your money and you really love the aesthetic, I don't think Le Labo is anything extraordinary outside of 1 or 2 fragrances. And that's just my opinion. I know some people love them. And just like Jo Malone is my favorite fragrance house, I know a lot of people do not like her fragrances, and that's fine. We all have different tastes and we're all entitled to those varying opinions. With that, that's all I have. Too long didn't watch. The City Exclusives suck, except for Berlin. By Berlin. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Let me know if there's any other fragrances you think I would like. What's your favorite fragrance? If you've tried Le Labo, what do you think about them? I'm very curious to see other people's opinions. And I will see you guys next time.